Yo, how we doing, guys? I'm trying to get, my internet is down on my computer. It is not working, so I'm trying to figure out how to get my chat up. Internet has been down all day. I'm using data on my phone because hasn't been working the entire day. So hopefully I can get the chat up. We will see. Maybe it's gonna work. Okay, it looks like it's working. What's up, Grayson, Annabella, Big Boy, Robert, Mr. Cube? How we doing in the masses? Dale. What's up, Wesley? Nice, you're doing a talent shift. That is awesome. But what's up, Zantastic? Ted, how we doing? Yaku Trick. There we go. Ready for off-string. I completely forgot to fix my off-string yo-yos again. I'm so sorry. Yo guys, it's Tutorial Tuesday. Let me know some tricks that you want to see a tutorial for, and I will try my best to teach them. 10.0 hook tutorial. There's nothing to teach there. Let's go. Hope it lands on the string. Hope the yo-yo lands. Came back from track practice. Nice, Robert. What's up, Kieran? Chopsticks tutorial? Okay, so like, if you're talking about, I'm assuming you just mean this basic chopstick mount. That one, I think the easiest way to do it, I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to do the chopstick trick. I like to, instead of doing a trapeze over my pointer finger, I like doing it over these three fingers. So, my pinky, ring finger, and middle finger. Because then what happens is when you put your thumb push down on the string, it gives you a lot more room to land between your fingers. So then you're going to roll it over this thumb and land right in this space between your fingers, just like that. Teach me how to do arm combos. If you give me a specific one, let me know. Otherwise, I have no idea which arm tricks you already know. So you can give me like specific tricks for the request. Otherwise, I'm not sure what to teach you guys. It's hard, like when I don't know what skill levels a lot of you guys are at. So if you don't know a specific trick, then it's hard for me to know like what trick would be good for you to learn. Teach me the green triangle combo from your PNW art routine. So is it the one with this? Is this one, right? That thing? That's a pretty long combo, so I could go through that pretty quick if you're interested in it. If that's the one you're talking about. I'm not positive if it is, but yes, that one? Okay. So I'm gonna quickly go through it. This is a pretty advanced trick, so if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry, because we will do some more tricks right after. That will be more, maybe we'll do a beginner trick right after this. We'll see. So, we'll start with, you're going to whip over like you're going into a trapeze, and you're going to whip over into a kamikaze mount at the same time. So, you whip over, you have this finger twisted around, so you're whipping over that finger at the same time as you land in the trapeze. So go there, then you're going to take your thumb, you're going to pop the yo-yo up, and you're going to take this thumb, grab that back string as the yo-yo's falling. So, go here, here, and then you're going to put like your whole hand in here. And you're going to do what's called a magic drop. So, it's going to go around this finger, and what's happening is you pull this thumb back, and that's going to cause one of the strings to fall off of the yo-yo. Then the yo-yo is going to land on the front, it goes into here. Then you're going to pinch, you're going to let go of this, and at the same time the yo-yo is going to pop up, and you're going to undercut it with this finger. So you go here, 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 pinch, let go. You're going to grab that so it goes into here, put your middle finger on the inside, pinch, and then this is you want your thumb to stay on top of here too. And you're going to let go of this slack. That slack's going to come over onto your finger. Same time, you roll the yo-yo over onto here. So So that's like halfway through the trick. It's here, 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 here. And then after that, you're gonna double on that trapeze. At the same time, you let go of this thumb. You wanna keep it pinched. And then, oh my gosh, my string tension. So, you're here. You're gonna swing onto here. And you're gonna let the slat go over your hand at the same time. Then, it's gonna be the exact opposite of what you just did. So this is gonna come off. This is gonna come off. Then what's gonna happen? The yo-yo comes off of your throw hand side. The slap is gonna hit your hand. Then it's gonna fall into the yo-yo like that. We'll start with just that because it's a pretty long combo. Let me know how that goes. You can always go back and watch it after. But yeah, I don't want to teach the full thing because it's a pretty long combo. But that'll be a good start for you. Because this combo would take like 20 minutes to teach. I would get into some other tricks as well. So we'll start with that. Let me know how that goes, and then we can I can teach you the rest of it another time. Yo, what's up, Axel? Please don't spam. But thank you for stopping by the stream. What's up, Pedro? 1.0 hook. Okay. So the way you guys are gonna do this trick, this is more of an intermediate level trick. So the way you're gonna do this, you throw the yo-yo, a breakaway throw. So if you don't know what breakaway is, it's where instead of throwing forward, you're going to turn your hand to the side, throw it like that, and it's going to swing in front of your body like this. So now the yo-yo's spinning like this direction instead of this direction. So you have it thrown, you're going to whip, you want to whip the string, and you want your hand to stay behind the yo-yo. So see how, if I'm doing it from the side, I'm whipping, and this hand's going to go behind the yo-yo. Like that. And you'll see there's this front string and the back string. See how there are two strings that form, the front and the back? Those two are both going to go around this pointer finger on your non-dominant hand. So that is how the hook is going to form. I can show you that again real quick. So you whip, you're going to have your hand behind the yo-yo. You're going to have those two, you're going to kind of, if you're looking straight down on it, you'll see that front and the back string. You want both of those to go over this pointer finger. And then the yo-yo is going to land into that front string. Guys, stop spinning. Ruins the whole chat for others. Yeah, guys, just be respectful of other people in the chat. Remember, everyone has tricks they want to learn, things they want to say. So just, if you spam, I mean, it's just going to make me, I'm not going to even answer you if you're spamming. So please don't, because it disrupts the chat. And it's gonna, I don't like encouraging that behavior, so. Yeah, so anyways, to do the hook, again, you're gonna whip the string. You're gonna whip, you're popping the yo-yo up in the air, and you're whipping your hand pretty much underneath the yo-yo, but behind the yo-yo. And then you want those two strings to go over this finger, and it's gonna go into the frontmost string, just like that. What's up, Dez? Thomas, how you doing? Okay, yo, what's up, Bongo? Okay, another trick, next stole. Okay, next stole's a scary one, but you're gonna get it within 5 minutes with these couple tips. So first of all, think of how you learn a Brent stole. This trick's only, so the next stole is really only for advanced yo-yoers, I would say. Or if you want to just take a risk and try something difficult, you could also try it as a beginner, but I wouldn't recommend that. So if you're already an advanced player, the way you're going to do the next stole, think about how when you learn a Brent stole, the original normal Brent stole trick, what you're doing, you're whipping, you put your finger into the loop, and then what happens, if you think about it, you're technically moving your right hand, or your throw hand, if you're left-handed, you're moving your left hand forward. You move your throw hand, the hand connected to this string, you're going to move that hand forward to form the triangle, right? So the way you're going to do that, you're doing that, but around the neck. So the way I like to teach it, it's like you're doing a whip to trapeze like this. So you're whipping, putting your finger into the loop, and landing back on the string. Think of it like you're doing that, except you're trying to do that, but purposely not have the yo-yo land on the string. Instead, you want the yo-yo to try to, you want to have the yo-yo try to miss off to the front. So if I turn to the side, you can see, instead of landing on here, I'm trying to land the yo-yo, or I'm trying to have it fall in front of the string. So it goes like that. And then at the same time, if you move your throw hand forward, you'll see that the string folds over itself and forms the triangle. So that same thing is what you're going to do around the neck. You're starting with, if you know how to do a laceration trapeze like this, that's a very good start. If not, go learn that trick. Basically, pop it up in the air, you're whipping, you put your neck into the loop, and then catch it on the string. So once you can get that trick quite consistent, what you're going to do, you're going to try to you're going to do that, but just like a normal Brent stole, you're going to purposely miss the yo-yo off the front. And at the same time, right as the yo-yo is about to fall past this string, right, once the yo-yo is like here, like around at the height of this string, you push your throw hand forward. And it will fold that slack around the string to form the neck stole. What's up, Chase? Why is your unresponsive yo-yo coming back? I would say most likely it's just you got dust or something else in the bearing that caused it to get messed up a little bit. So what I would recommend doing is search up a tutorial for how to clean a yo-yo bearing. That's what you're going to do. Clean your bearing. If that doesn't work, try it again. If it doesn't work like a couple times, it's probably just a bad bearing. And at that point, it's better to just switch to a new bearing usually. Donate $30. Nice. If you're talking about on this stream, I don't see any donuts on this stream, but maybe on another one. If you're going to a yo-yo contest to spectate, do you register before or on the day? You always try to see if there's a place online to register before, because a lot of ones won't take same-day registrations. So yeah, try to see if it says online whether you need to pre-do it. Do you have any plans to make Hunter Yo-Yos an independent brand? Not really for now. Hunter Yo-Yos is a retailer. I consider Hunter Yo-Yos a retailer, not really as much of a brand, at least as of right now. But yeah, I don't have any plans to change that, at least for the time being. Teach Mach 5 for your sister. Okay. Yo, so the way you're gonna do the Mach 5 trick, a lot of like beginner to intermediate level yo-yoers I think can learn this one. I'm gonna teach you the simplest possible way to do this trick. You start, throw a sleeper in front of you. You're gonna put your pointer finger on your non-throw hand underneath the string. And then you're gonna bring this back hand underneath. So it's like the start of if you're doing a brain twister, same position. So you go here, bring this hand under. It's like you're doing a backwards bind is another way to think about it. So it's like you're doing this, but you start with your finger behind instead, and then you bring this all the way back into the yo-yo. So then, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your pointer finger on your throw hand, put it into this string right here. So it goes into this position, and then you're gonna swing the yo-yo, or you're not really swinging the yo-yo, you're kind of just moving your front hand underneath the yo-yo. And it's going to go into this position, just like that. And then you're going to kind of pull tight, not so tight where the yo-yo starts spinning like this though. You don't want that to happen, because then that's going to end up losing control of the yo-yo most of the time, and that's going to actually create another trick called gyroscopic flop. But in the case of the Mach 5 trick, you're going to bring this hand underneath, open this up, bring this your front throw hand, or your non-throw hand underneath the yo-yo, just like that. You're gonna kind of pull it tight, but not super tight. And then you want to try to keep your focus on keeping the yo-yo in the same place as much as possible. You're gonna move both of your hands in circles around it, just like this. If I'm going to the yo-yo contest in St. Louis, I believe that they want like ahead of time registration, but I could be wrong on that. Go find their website or ask them on social media. Just double check. But usually you'll be able to find that info on the website. If it asks you to register online, just go ahead and register online. Looks like you need more yo-yo lessons. Oh, I love when people are like, you could get better. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know I could. Hunter, you should come to ULIC. When is it? What's up, Dade? Nathan, how we doing? Side style rail arm element. I'm not too sure what that is, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I have to see a video of it. Look at the website, but it only shows how to register if you're competing. So in that case, just follow the instructions on how to register. Unless if you aren't competing, then maybe I would see if there's a place for buying like spectator tickets. If not, I would go ask the organizer or like contact them in whatever way you can. You spell it Thomas with an H. How do you do that? A lot of practice. Teach Brent Stoll. I actually taught Brent Stoll a couple minutes ago. So if you go back on the stream just a little bit, you'll be able to see it. What's up, Martin? How we doing? How we doing? In your own combo from World? I don't think I did any arm rail combos. Not too sure which trick you refer to. I'm sorry. Email them. They haven't responded for months. Try messaging them on like social media or something. That might work. But other than that, I'm not too sure, unfortunately. Yo, guys, I completely forgot I have this pink string. My signature string in the pink color. I forgot that this existed. And then I was like, oh yeah. Guys, by the way, my signature string is actually sold out now. Do you have a website to buy yo-yos on? I do, in fact. Kimberly, thank you for asking. So if any of you guys are interested in getting started yo-yoing for yourself, or if you already are into yo-yoing, want to get yourself some new yo-yos or accessories or whatever you're looking for, go to hunteryoyos.com. I'll put it in the chat. hunteryoyos.com. And then we go like this, pin. There we go. And yeah, if you want to get yourself a yo-yo, that way it will actually make the tutorial Tuesdays a lot more fun for you guys. You might be enjoying this even if you don't have a yo-yo right now, but I think you'll enjoy it even more if you have a yo-yo, so that way you can learn live with me. Because I have a bunch of beginner tutorials on my channel as well as a couple advanced ones. But on these streams, I'm kind of trying to teach every different level of tricks. Some that are more beginner, some that are more advanced, some that are kind of in the middle somewhere. But yeah, if you guys want to pick up a yo-yo, I would recommend the best option for most people to start out, I would say, is the Level Up pack on hunteryoyos.com. That one comes with 2 yo-yos. It's going to come with a responsive yo-yo, which will come back to your hand. I can show you right here. This yo-yo right here. So, comes with this. You just tug with your wrist, it comes back to your hand, just like those classic yo-yos a lot of you might have used before. So this one, you're going to be able to learn all the beginner tricks. But then, once you want to get into the more advanced stuff, you're going to be getting also an unresponsive yo-yo, which are these types of yo-yos where when you tug up on the string, they don't come back to your hand unless you learn a trick called the bind to bring it back. That allows you to do lots of more advanced tricks that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise with the other yo-yo. So that's the one that's the option I recommend the most. Again, it's called the Level Up Pack. That one, it's not like too pricey, but if it is like higher than what your budget is, you can always go for the intro pack instead, which is just going to come with the one beginner responsive yo-yo that will come back to you. So it'll be more limited if you want to be able to get into like the advanced tricks, but it's going to be great for learning all those beginner tricks. You're an intermediate player, what bimetal should you buy? I mean, any bimetal is going to be good for you pretty much. But I would say, I would recommend the Moonlight. The Moonlight Yo-Yo, still available on hunteryoyos.com if you're interested. That's going to be the one I used to get top 3 in the 2024 World Yo-Yo Contest. Also won a couple other contests as well with that yo-yo. So, highly recommend tutorial on YouTube for Iwasawa. There is, yeah. Actually, like, you know what's funny is I taught the Iwasawa tower trick the same way as that tutorial, and I didn't realize because I never actually watched that tutorial. I just figured out a tip for it, and I'm like, oh, this makes the trick way easier. And then I realized the tutorial taught it in the same way. So kind of thought of the same way of teaching it. Is that your signature yo-yo? It is one of them, yeah. I got, how many different signature yo-yos now? Wait, Spotlight Ultra, Spotlight Ultra, Moonlight, Starlight Prototype, and then this right here is the 5th one. How much money is the Moonlight? Depends when you buy it. The normal price is $100, but sometimes we have it on sale as well. Must have missed it. What's the name of that one? This yo-yo? This yo-yo is a secret one that you guys don't know the name of yet. You know Gentry? I do. The combo you do the slap to kamikaze to roll the arm thing? Not this trick, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't have any arm combo with that kind of combination. I don't know. Space Cowboy. Yeah, Space Cowboy unfortunately is not sold anymore, but that's also a pretty good yo-yo. Oh, Zantastic does mean that combo. Okay, so I'll teach this trick real quick, and then I do want to get into another beginner to intermediate level trick after that as well. So, the way you're going to do this trick, you start trapeze. You're going to wrap the string around your finger just like that. Then you're pretty much doing a kamikaze whip, but you're rolling off at the same time. So it's going into here and rolling over. So you're kind of rolling over as it's going into that slack. And then, once you're there, you roll underneath into the string. You're going to turn your body towards your non-throw hand side. So if you're right-handed, you're turning towards your left. You're going to roll here. You're going to bring this hand all the way around. And then you're going to roll onto here. So, let me show that again. You go here, here, roll around, here. So you land back on there. And it's going to be in a kamikaze mount with the string under your hand. And then, you roll off. But this time you're actually going to cross over. You're going to bring this hand in front. It's going to go into this position right here. And you're going to let the yo-yo go into that string behind your arm. Just like that. And then it's going to roll off. So it's going to go on the inside of your arm, just like that. And then you're going to pop it up. This is the hardest part. You're going to move your non-throw hand in front and cross over. And you're going to land on that string. So it's going to be something like this. So when you're here, 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 it's gonna roll up, and you're gonna bring this hand underneath, just like that. that's gonna be it. So you can go back and watch that in slow motion, or go watch all those steps again if you need. But that's the basic idea of the trick. Thank you, Jerry, for the gift. I appreciate it. Are you going to San Diego Classic? I don't believe so, but I kind of want to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. Probably pretty unlikely, but there's always a chance. Riker with the $2. Yo, guys, can you guys say W donors in the chat for me? Let's go. Kimberly, I already answered your question. Members, yes. I know most of the members of the yo-yo community. There are many, many yo-yo, or actually, I don't know why I said that. There really aren't that many yo-yoers. I know, like, pretty much the entire yo-yo community. W donors in the chat. $50 equals jelly bean? No, I don't have any more. I was gonna say unfortunately, but I think for me that's fortunately. It's fortunate to not have any more. Teach Texas Cowboy. That is a very fun trick to teach. Also a pretty good beginner level trick. Although I don't know how much room I'm gonna have in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap the string around my hand. So I have a little bit of a shorter string. This is one I would not recommend doing inside when you're first learning it, especially because it takes up a lot of space. Technically, you're starting with like a horizontal around the world. So it's gonna be like above your head. Think like it's a helicopter propeller above your head. It's like this. And then it's gonna do one around the world above your head, and then technically what the trick is you're gonna, while this is coming down here, you're gonna jump over the string. But I recommend starting by, as it's coming around, you're gonna lift your left leg, and then as it continues going around, you lift the left leg, so it's like that. It's a really hard trick to get the hang of. I'm not very good at it because I've never really done it. But yeah, it's kind of like this. Here, and that's the trick. But yeah, again, you don't want to be doing that indoors because you're gonna most likely hit something or break something. I don't know. How much gifted for you to buy more jelly beans? I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about, I don't know if I want to get jelly beans again. I'm thinking about possibly getting some other spicy food. Whether it's spicy lollipops, spicy crickets, maybe a hot sauce, maybe like a literal pepper. I don't know. You want to see me try other hot sauce or other hot stuff? Yeah, I think if you guys have ideas, get the spicy gummy bears. I thought about that, but if they're like cherry flavored, I don't want them. You've gotten obsessed with Metallica music since PNWR? No, let's go. You know what's funny is I actually never really listened to Metallica. I don't think I even like knew what Metallica was before I made that routine, to be honest. Annabelle says me too. Are you saying me too to the you want to see me eat other hot foods, or what are you saying me too? Who are you responding to? Sad but true, stuck in your head. I don't think I've heard that one. I barely listen to music at all. Attention chat, check out the new gifts. Wait, sent 100 for 2 jewels. What? Is that what the new gift is, the 100? What does that mean? I don't know. Hunter Tech Trick. The one I taught on my YouTube a long time ago. I don't even know if I remember that. Is it this one? I think it's that trick, right? I completely forgot about that trick until you just mentioned that. You know what? Actually, someone posted this trick on Instagram earlier, and I didn't even recognize that it was my trick. Like, I barely even noticed that. I was just like, oh, he did a yo-yo trick. But yeah, that's my trick. I do have a tutorial for that one on YouTube already if you want to check it out. So I highly recommend that. What is your rarest yo-yo? This one I'm using right now is one of them. Until we get a full run of these in the mail, this is going to be one of the rarest yo-yos in the world. There are only 6 of them in the world right now, and I have 5 of those 6. What's up, Michael? How we doing? Teach a different tech trick? I don't know if I really know any other tech tricks. I don't really do much tech at all. I mean, if you give me a specific one, let me know. But it's really hard to teach tech to people. Like, tech tricks are really hard to teach without knowing what tricks you already know. So that's kind of the tough part with it. What's up, Raymond? Sophie wants me to use my thinnest yo-yo. What do you mean, like, how wide it is? I have a really small yo-yo that's actually, I believe it's in, or actually I already did that challenge, but yeah, if we get through all these challenges will be going back into the gumball machine. One of them that we already did was this one, smallest yo-yo in the world. So every once in a while, I'll be using that yo-yo on the stream. But yeah, thin, slim yo-yos are very, very difficult to use sometimes. Spicy one chip challenge? Nah. You think I want to pay $25 to eat a single chip? That's crazy. Come on, like at least give me a bag of chips. Are there any chips where you can buy a full bag of really spicy chips? Because that's probably what would be ideal if I want to do more spicy challenges on live again. Any tips for hopping from hand to hand with chopsticks? So like if you're going here to here, I would say one thing that would help, try practicing Eli hops where it pops from one side of the string to the other. I think that will kind of help you get used to the motion of popping it back and forth. I think that's a good idea for you to try. But yeah, spicy gummy bear challenge, nah. I don't want to. Maybe if they made it a strawberry flavor, I would do it, I think. But if it's cherry, I don't want to. World's hottest chocolate bar. Any tips for behind the back tricks? I mean, for that, it's really just like practicing, to be honest. Like that's just something you gotta get used to how it feels to do tricks behind the back. You know what I mean? Like there aren't really any specific tips for it because it's technically, in most cases, not more difficult than doing it not behind the back. It's really just more, it's just more awkward to do, if that makes sense. Like doing this is a very, very awkward trick to do. Pepper Joe's Carolina Reaper chocolate bar. I might try a spicy chocolate bar. That'd be interesting. Would you guys like to see that? Yes or no? The Ninja Vanish Double GT. Yes, that's a very, very difficult trick to explain. I know Luna Heron has a very good tutorial for this trick on YouTube. But I can kind of try to teach you as well in my own way. The way I teach it, I like to take 4 fingers, put them under the string. Guys, by the way, this is a very, very difficult trick. So if you have not been yo-yoing for like at least 3 or 4 years, I wouldn't even like try to attempt this trick for now probably. It's gonna be pretty much like next to impossible to be able to get if you don't have like years and years of experience. But the way you're gonna do this trick is you start 4 fingers under the string, grab it really close to your other hand, so have just this little bit of space between. What you're gonna do, it's like you're doing a Ninja Vanish, except that slack is gonna go, instead of going into the yo-yo, you're swinging the slack more like straight towards you, and that slack is going to go, if you're right-handed, the slack's going to go on the right side of the yo-yo. So see how it passes, it doesn't hit the yo-yo, but it goes right next to the yo-yo on the right side. So like that. And what's going to happen, it folds over, so it goes like this, it folds over, and then you're turning this hand, let me see, so you're turning this hand where you're doing the vanish motion, you're turning it, and then the yo-yo is landing in this tiny little string segment at the back. It is very, very, very difficult. But yeah, that's the idea of the trick. Yeah, Alex, for sure. If you want to go check out that tutorial from Luna as well, that'll be good because you can see like a POV, which I think is probably the best way to learn that trick. That rejection element, you see it to believe it. I don't remember what combo was. That wasn't this trick, was it? Or no, it was this one, huh? Was it that trick? Is that what you're talking about? Wow, you guys are all requesting the hardest possible tricks for me to teach, huh? You guys love learning the super difficult stuff. I thought we'd be getting a lot more beginner tutorial requests on here, but if you guys want to keep learning the advanced stuff, it's all good. Yo, Shepard, wait, do you have another way of explaining the combo that you're talking about? I'm not too sure. I've posted so many slow-mos, so I'm not too sure, unfortunately. Grayson says it's fun. Are you talking about learning hard tricks? I don't know enough trick names to know what to ask for. I mean, I guess you can like, if you want, you can always just look up yo-yo tricks, like any yo-yo trick tutorials on YouTube. Find any name, you can ask me to teach it if you want. Or any trick I've taught before as well. I usually will just, I'll usually just like refer you to the video where I taught it if I have a tutorial on my channel. But if you go to the tutorial and you still don't understand it, you can always come and ask me to teach it live as well. You're 6 foot with 6 feet 4-inch arm span. How do I get better at arm tricks without making my string length too long? Oof. I mean, that's a hard one for me to answer because I don't have that same problem. Because I'm short and my arms are tiny. So I don't really have that same problem, but I would recommend asking some tall yo-yoers how they deal with that. Shepard's saying it was in that slow-mo video probably is like saying it's that one trick you did a while ago wearing a black shirt. Yep. It was that one thing you did with a yo-yo while standing. Yep. In fact. It was that one trick where you looked at the yo-yo and moved the string around to do a trick. Ryuichi horizontal. Wait, which trick was it? I'm not sure which opening you mean. Because I know how to do, like this trick. This thing. I'm not sure if that's the trick you're talking about, but yeah. You're roasting me. No, Shepard, it's just funny. It's all in good fun, don't worry. No, let me know like if you can think of a more descriptive variation of whatever trick you're thinking of. The Champion Edition Spotlight Ultra, the Podium Edition one, you mean? Okay, yeah, I mean, that's also pretty hard to say because I probably use that in like 200 videos. What's up, Parker? How long have you been yo-yoing for? I've been yo-yoing for almost 12 years now. Okay, Iker wants to learn Justin wrist mount. Over the wrist slack triangle. Which trick is that? You're not talking about this one, are you? That one, okay. Yo, we got James in the chat. How you doing? Okay, we're teaching the Justin trick. So the way you're gonna do this, go into a wrist mount. You take your 4 fingers. You're gonna grab the very back string, just like that. Then you're gonna take the part that's on your wrist, transfer it so it's just on your pointer finger, like this. And then you're pretty much letting this come off of your finger. It's gonna drop in front, and at the same time, you're gonna roll the yo-yo like you're going into a trapeze around your wrist, like that. So, you're here, you're gonna let this fall as you kind of pop the yo-yo up and roll it around your wrist. And it's gonna go into this position. And then, the yo-yo's gonna roll off while you unwhip this twice. So, you roll it off and whipping it twice. And it goes into the triangle like that. Pretty simple trick once you understand the concept of it. It's just kind of like confusing to understand how to do that element first. But yeah, the second part, I find a lot, I find it like a little bit easier to understand, maybe a little bit harder to execute though. But yeah. How are you doing, Hunter? I'm doing pretty well, Michael. How about yourself? It's the combo where you use your thumb to undercut the string, then it rejects from the catch. Oh, wait. You're talking about this one, right? This trick? Can you teach me my maths routine? Guys, if you guys have watched all my recent streams, you'll know what Thomas is referring to by "Can you teach me my maths routine?" It's a funny inside joke for anyone that was on a stream from a couple weeks ago. Okay, so Shepard, I got you. So I do have a tutorial for that on YouTube as well. But I think you were saying you already saw the tutorial. So the way you're gonna do that, start with your 4 fingers, or I guess you could just do 1 finger. I prefer on 4 fingers though. So you put your 4 fingers under the string. The yo-yo is gonna go behind into the front. And at the same time, you're going to recapture it. So putting the string around the yo-yo like that. So you go in here, recapture, and it has this little twist. I like opening this up as big as possible, and then you're gonna turn your hand and put your thumb into this big loop of string. And then it's gonna go between these fingers. The yo-yo is gonna roll over between these fingers and land on that little front string segment. So it goes into this triangle thing. So you are here, here, there. Then you're gonna take this part that's on all these fingers, transfer it to just your thumb, and then you're gonna pop the yo-yo up, and it's like it's like black hops, where you pop it up, and you're gonna take your pointer finger to pluck the string. So, again, guys, this is another pretty advanced trick. Go here, pluck the string, and then the yo-yo. Basically, how the last part's gonna work. You're letting the yo-yo roll off. You're kind of uncrossing as the yo-yo rolls off. At the same time, you're using the tension of this on your thumb to shoot it off into the yo-yo. So, it's going to be, you're here, here, and remember to transfer this to your thumb, pop it up, catch it there, and then the yo-yo is going to roll off, and you kind of want to pull it tight and let that slack come off of the thumb. So you're going to pull tight, uncross, and let the slat come off of your thumb. Those three things at the same time should make that element work. Just like that. Didn't know you had a tutorial for it. Yeah, I do have a tutorial for it actually. Luke, I have taught like probably 15 tricks or so far on the stream. So if any of you guys want to go back, you can like go through all the different tricks I taught on the stream and go learn whatever you want. We got lots of different tricks for you to learn on the stream though. Yo, Newt is famous. People in the chat saying hello, Newt. They recognize you, bro. Teach a high clicking trick. Please be more descriptive. I have no idea what tricks you don't know already. High clicking trick that isn't a hook. Well, that's the thing. I don't know what tricks you don't already know. How do you do that emoji? That trick is so difficult. I actually don't really understand how it works myself. It kind of just happens. I think the idea of it, you're kind of whipping over both fingers. You're gonna cross your throw hand over your non-throw hand. So you go here, here, at the same time in the air. So it's like here. And then you're turning your arms like this. And you're landing on the inside, on the very back string. It's very difficult. And I don't fully understand how to do it. I'm not very good at it, but that's the idea of it. Wait, that's a trick. That's a trick. Jerry, I would recommend, I think you said, what are the 3 yo-yos you have again? I think you said you have the level up pack and the Starlight. Are those the ones you have? If so, I would say next yo-yo you should get is the Moonlight if you don't already have that. Moonlight or the Spotlight Ultra. What's up, Taylor and Nathaniel? How you doing? What's up, Stephanie? Put your name on that board. The board is for anyone that donates $5 or more. So if you donate $5 or more, you'll get your name up there as well. Yo, Carlos, I understand. No worries. So you're talking about this trick, right? Best tip I have for that is going to be to do this trick. You want to bring your non-throw hand. So if you're right-handed, you bring your left hand as far back here as possible. Like almost practice stretching it without the yo-yo. Bringing this hand all the way back here as far as possible. You're going to do that to get the yo-yo to shoot out. So you bring your hand all the way over here to get it to shoot out, and then you're going to pull it all the way back over here to get the yo-yo back. The best tip I can give, focus on your left arm or your non-throw arm to go like this. That's the best way, in my opinion. How's your day going? It's going well, Maddie. How about yourself? Dan Mates, how you doing? The tune song leg trick. Are you talking about, that's this trick, right? Or, oh, this thing. My string isn't long enough for that. I don't have long enough string for that. What's up, Malfoys? Got any tips for doing those 4A open bind regen combos? Let me see. Okay, I have another off-string yo-yo I could use, just not my main ones. So this one, I would say, any of these kind of tricks, I think it very much depends on the response pads you're using and your string length. They're the main two things that, in my opinion, that affect those tricks. So make sure if your string's really thick, if you're using really thick string, you want to use string that's a pretty short length. So that way it doesn't snag as much. But you want the right balance of string length and thickness of the string. So that way you can regen, you can bind, but it's not gonna snag when you try regenning like that. So like this string is too long for this setup because I'm using like a thick, this is like a thick long yo-yo string. So it makes it really hard if it binds, and then to regen, it gets stuck a lot of the time. So if you're using thick string, make sure the string's short. And if you're using long string, I would use thinner string. That's at least what I would recommend for any of those 4A bind combos. Other than that, like, it's mainly just practice, but a bunch of it is about a bunch of getting good at those kind of off-string binds and regens is just having a good setup with response pads and string. Yeah, and also like the other thing is if you use really grippy response pads, you're also going to want to use that less snaggy string setup. So like thinner string and maybe shorter string even if it's really if the pads are really grippy. Just depends. Kind of just figure out what makes a perfect balance with your setup. And yeah, it's kind of difficult. I do understand the movement. Yeah, that's just like, you really have to like move your arm in an uncomfortable way, like this. That's the main key to that trick. All the cracked Mexican yo-yoers are in the chat. That is true. We got Iker and Carlos. Wait, where are the others? Where are the others? Yeah, we actually have a lot of good yo-yoers in the chat right now. We have a flight with stock response wide and gap. Yeah, if you're using that setup, that's usually a less, that's probably a more snaggy setup than usual. So, or less snaggy, I mean. So yeah, I would use thick string and maybe slightly, like if it's snagging a lot for you, I would say either shorten the string or use a thinner string. If it's not binding enough, then maybe use thicker string or make your string longer. Yo, what's up, Ethan? Live long, how you doing? Yeah, I think predicting like results for any big contest like nationals is really just comes down to cleanliness on the day. Like, I think you could do the same contest like 5 different days in a row and there would be a pretty different set of results each time if you just do it on a different day. Yo, please no spamming. I see the same thing taking up like 80% of the screen right now. So please, please don't. Gives you a little bit more of a chance, but then if you continue after that, you will be getting timed out. Yeah, it's continued. It does get really annoying to people in the chat, so please just be respectful. What's up, King VR? Yo, Carlos, you're going to Worlds? Nice. Love your yo-yo. Thank you, Mango. How about getting the yo-yo to pop up higher after the regen? So like, I'll just assume you're doing like, I'll assume you're trying to do like this trick, like that one. I would say just like, when the yo-yo's falling down, pull it up a little bit sooner. But that's also going to require a slightly less snaggy setup. Just go to Florida States. Any tips for how to get better? I would say the best tip I can give you is just learn every single yo-yo trick you see. Even if you feel like you can't get it consistent or you don't think it's very doable for you yet, like if it looks too advanced, just try it. The more tricks you try, the better you're going to get at yo-yoing. So, I mean, even if you can't do them, it's still going to help you get better. That trick is impossible. Tutorial for cast whip or the engine. Either one, I think I have both of those as tutorials on my YouTube actually. So I would recommend checking that out because I got the slow-mo as well as like I can't remember if there's a POV view of the trick, but there's at least a side view and slow-mo, which should help you out a lot with that. Question about what yo-yo to buy. Okay, well, if you are brand new to yo-yoing, the first thing I would recommend you get is the Level Up Pack on hunteryoyos.com. That one's going to come with a beginner yo-yo as well as an intermediate to advanced level yo-yo. So the beginner one is going to be just like this one, where if you throw the yo-yo, you tug up with your wrist, the yo-yo will come back to your hand. But it also comes with an advanced yo-yo, which actually is where I have one on my wall somewhere. Somewhere here. I actually don't have a string on this one right now, but it's going to be a yo-yo like this, and I'll demonstrate with another yo-yo real quick. The way you get that one back to your hand is going to be, it's an unresponsive yo-yo, which means if you try to tug up with your wrist, it's not going to come back to your hand. So, instead of tugging up, you got to wrap the string around the yo-yo, pinch, and bring it back to your hand. That's called a bind. So that's the way you get one of the advanced yo-yos back to your hand. And that will help prevent you from being more limited with the advanced tricks you're learning. How short is your string for standard 4A setup? I like using short, like I use really short string that's OT normal, and then I have like pretty snaggy response pads, so kind of works well together. My string goes up to like alarm going off. Looking for a premium non-responsive bimetal yo-yo, not too wide either. I would go for, I mean, it depends on what you consider too wide. So I would say the Moonlight is going to be the best bimetal yo-yo money can buy you right now. That one is around 49 centimeters, or not centimeters, 49 millimeters wide, which I would say as of right now in modern yo-yo terms, our current state of yo-yo, 49 is probably right around average width of an advanced yo-yo. But if you do think 49 is too wide, then you could go for something like, I'm trying to think, I think we might still have these bimetals in stock. I'm not positive. You might be able to find these. These are a bit more narrow. These are also pretty good, but for some people consider this actually too narrow. So it kind of just depends on what kind of width you're looking for exactly. There are other ones that will be like kind of between those widths, but most yo-yos nowadays are going to be like 49 plus. Like 49 is probably going to end up being like considered slim pretty soon, I would guess. You're looking for a small yo-yo to train. Best one you can get is going to be the 5, because it's only $15. It's going to work as well as any yo-yo that you spend like $100 plus on. It's actually really fun to use too. It's really smooth too. What's the red one called? The name is literally bimetal. Like, that's the actual name of the yo-yo. Bruce just put it in the chat if anyone's interested. I can't remember if we still have those in stock. They might actually be sold out, but if we don't have that, Moonlight's gonna be your best option, unless you consider 49 too wide. It very much depends. But other than that, like, I think the options for good bimetal yo-yos that are less wide than that are pretty limited, because most yo-yos nowadays are going to be like 50 millimeters plus a lot of the time. Moonlight, yep. I used Moonlight to get top 3 at the 2024 World Yo-Yo Contest as well. Will wide yo or a small yo-yo make you better, or is that more advanced? I mean, it's gonna be like, for anyone, a small yo-yo is gonna be much harder than a normal yo-yo. If you get to like a really advanced level, you won't notice as much of a difference because you'll be more precise at your tricks. But like for starting out, I mean, for pretty much anyone, it's just gonna be pretty frustrating trying to use the small yo-yo. But even if you're missing tricks a lot with it, it's still gonna end up helping you once you switch back to like a lot wider of a yo-yo shape like this. It just makes the tricks, it forces you to be precise with your tricks, which ends up making you a lot more consistent when you're trying to do your tricks on like a normal size yo-yo, or even an extra wide yo-yo. It'll give you a huge advantage. Kind of like if you guys have ever played baseball or anything like that, and you have like a weighted bat, or maybe a weighted vest if you're like a runner, or things like that. Those kind of things that help with training. It's the same kind of thing with yo-yo. Yo-yos you own, the Hunter is available. North Star, Finger Spin, Monster R-Type, Mega Monster, yep. And no longer have the Catch-22 available, but that one. Oh my god. We might get another one in stock soon though, we'll see. Depending if we have enough interest for titanium yo-yos. I know we have a couple more people interested in buying some titanium yo-yos, so I might end up getting those back in stock soon, we'll see. A hot dog shaped yo-yo? I don't think there is. Not that I know of. I think that would be so hard to use now that I think about it. What's up, Ogie Gangs? Yo, what if yo-yos were just made in all sorts of shapes? Like, what if we just made like a... I mean, I know there's already a square yo-yo. There's already an octagon yo-yo. What if you just make like a... I don't even know. Like, what if you make a yo-yo that's just like a square, like a cube? Like, instead of a square yo-yo, imagine you literally make a yo-yo that's like this shape. Not like a literal Rubik's Cube, but just like an actual yo-yo that's made in that shape. Would be kind of crazy. Your mom threw away your yo-yo? No! That's sad. Oh, no spamming, please, no spam. Is that new proto going into production? Or is it, or are you gonna try another prototype? This is like, pretty much, there are gonna be a few minor changes to this, but it's not gonna feel any different than this, really. It's kind of just like cosmetic things that'll make the yo-yo look slightly, very slightly different that probably won't even be noticeable to most people. It's just like slight changes that won't affect how this one plays. Like it's gonna feel the exact same as this yo-yo. How long can it spin for? Very long time. What was like the secret yo-yo thing? This is this yo-yo right here, the one I've been using for a while on streams. We just haven't said what the name is yet. I like just gatekeeping the name. A lot of you guys probably already know what the name is without me telling you, but yeah, I'm just gonna gatekeep the name a little bit more. 55? Nah, 53. I feel like 55 is like pretty much at the point where limit the complexity of yo-yo tricks. So I prefer like just the pretty much the highest, the widest possible design without it limiting that. Guys, we're gonna head out here pretty shortly, cause since it's Tuesday, we're also be doing my live on my second GeoGuessr channel. If you guys are interested in that, we're gonna be doing a live. Starting right after this stream, I'll be live on my second channel, Hunter Geo. If you guys want to head over there, it's going to be, if you click the 3 dots in the corner of the screen, click description, and then click the, what is it, the third link, I think? Yeah, the third link in the description of the live. You can go over to my second channel, and I'll be live over there as soon as I end this one. So I'll answer a couple last minute questions here first, and then we'll head over to that second channel. Everyone liked the video, trying to get to 100. Yo, that would be sick. I don't know how much time do we have left. You have the Ghost 964. That's too wide for really being useful for 1A. Yeah, I think like going for that wide, I mean, that would be great for something like 5A. But for 1A, I think it's like, it'll be good for certain tricks. Like, if your main goal with yo-yoing is you want to be able to learn all sorts of like Eli hops or any sort of hooks. Like, if you want to learn this stuff, this kind of stuff, and then like all the kind of hop tricks like this, if you don't want to get into like more complicated tricks, like if you don't want to be able to learn like this kind of stuff is going to be like nearly impossible on a yo-yo wider than like 55. But at 53, it's like you still get the benefits of it being wide, but it doesn't really affect anything too much. Like it doesn't affect you negatively when trying to do like more complex tricks. Yo, what's up, Janet? How we doing? Thanks again for the recommendations. Yeah, Omar did have some good recommendations, like the North Star. That's actually a pretty good finger spin yo-yo, and it's pretty inexpensive as well. Great plastic yo-yo. Tutorial for double leg GT. Okay, I'll give you a quick tutorial on it, because it is a pretty complicated trick. You start with your hand underneath the string. The yo-yo is going to go behind, fall to the front, into a triangle. Except, that's going to be happening behind your other arm. So you kind of cross over and go like that. And then, you're going to take this hand, you're going to pull this string through, and cross your hands to form the double GT. And then at that point, all you're doing, you're just putting your knee in the way, which it actually doesn't change the trick at all. It kind of just makes it look like something more is happening, which I like for style points. But yeah, the knee doesn't actually affect the trick at all. Can talk about yo-yo all day, same. Yeah, the 58 does feel a bit funky, but 55 millimeters is kind of limit. Yeah, I think 55 millimeters is kind of the magic number where it starts to affect your yo-yoing more. And I feel like, I honestly feel like getting above 55 millimeters for the width of a yo-yo, it doesn't really, it's very much like diminishing returns on the value it gives you for the wide. Like, maybe if there's some like advancement in like how yo-yos are shaped could change that, but like at least for how yo-yos are now, it definitely limits stuff past that. Where do you find good yo-yos? Check the pinned comment. HunterYoyos.com is where you go. What's up? How are we doing, Michelle? I read your comment but forgot to read your name, so hello. How'd you remember what yo-yos I already had? Cause I remember you ordering them. I remember you like asking on the streams before about how you got. I remember you saying you got the level up pack, and then you asked for the best metal yo-yo. I said the Starlight. Those are usually the options I give people. It's like those are usually when people ask me for suggestions of yo-yos. Those usually end up just being the first 3 yo-yos people have. I feel like you remember everything that's ever been said in these lives. I try to remember as much as I can. I feel like a ninja with that thing. This takes a lot of practice. I've been yo-yoing for over 12, or almost 12 years now. Alright guys, we're gonna get heading out and head over to the second channel, Hunter Geo. If you guys want to join me over there, click the 3 dots up in the corner of the screen, click description, and then click the 3rd link down, and I'm going to be live over on that channel right after this. So thank you guys again for joining me on this Tutorial Tuesday. I'll see you back on this channel again tomorrow, but for now, go head over to my second channel, Hunter Geo. I will see you guys over there. Bye!